should be.
The first thing we're gonna get straight is you're gonna quit bringing my Jesus up in here in this situation, because we gonna talk about it. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Girlapeutic. It's your home of therapeutic girl talk.
Girl talk.
And today, today it's a lot going on in the media, and we're gonna talk about it. We are going to talk about it. Yes, we are adding our voices to the Derrick Jaxn
Mess.
Let's get into it. I mean, if you know the story, then you know the story. You've seen the videos, you've heard about it. If you hadn't, then just type the name in, and you can just type in Derrick, and I'm sure it'll finish going. Yeah, it'll finish going for you. So let's talk about it. I don't even know where to start.
Oh my God, where do you start? Jesus, I mean, the whole situation is just a mess.
It's a mess. The whole situation is honestly sad.
It's sad. It's very sad. Prior to all of this, like, I've seen his videos just, like, you know, on the timeline. He's not somebody I followed and what have you, but for his brand to be built on something that's uplifting women and all this other stuff just to come out, and not only, first let me say, you cheated, cool. My issue with him is, one, you're acting like you're accountable for it, but you're really not. And two, you doing this all in the name of Jesus. When in Jesus ain't up in this. That's my biggest issue right here. On top of the anguish that you have caused and the embarrassment that you have caused amongst your wife. You know, if you've seen the videos, everybody now knows that this man is a complete narcissist. And before knowing anything, I would look at this man's videos like, oh, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. Period. Point blank. End of story. But now seeing that more people also agree before it's just like, stop.
Well, I think there's something to be said about people who build like platforms and a following off of like deception, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not just deception, but
Hypocrisy.
Yes, people who build
false.
Yeah, you build this following off of hypocrisy. Of maybe not even, it's not just who you are, maybe it's who you aspire to be. But you're like putting it as that's who you are and that's what you stand for. And that's also why I feel like, I mean, I guess he deemed himself as like an expert or like a guru maybe. But that's also why I feel that like certain influencing aspects, I don't know, if you're going to do that, you have to be so like gun-ho about your reputation. Because you don't want anything to come in and like make everything that you say null and void. Like if you think about it,
it's like a house of cards.
Yeah, because where does your brand go from here? Like that is your brand. And for anybody who influences, or anybody who's a guru, anybody who does anything that involves other people, there has to be a trust aspect in it. So now you're not credible. Nobody trusts you. Because the same advice that you give, so you're going to be, I guess, telling people what not to do.
And now it's completely invalidated, just like you said. And all of the things that he probably was saying in his video is stuff that he's already done. Yeah. That's why he knows it so well. That's why he knows it so well. Like, it's one thing to speak from experience, but it's another thing to speak from, quote unquote, somebody else's experiences as if it's bad or wrong and what not to look for, when at the end of the day you're speaking from your experience. You're making yourself feel better in this weird way by speaking about this and flipping it back to you. Narcissism, period, point blank. It's weird. And that poor wife is just wrapped in the web. You know what I mean? It's sad because she's kind of so far into it where she can't even recognize that she's in a toxic situation because she's probably dealt with it for so long. They got kids together. There's probably been a lot of emotional manipulation. The fact that this man got on camera, not only lied to his wife, but lied to all these folks who just so happen to be seeing this video about down to the last time that he cheated. This man cheated last week. You told us that it's been a year and y'all been in counseling.
Just lying.
Just lying. You cheated y'all last week.
Can you show do you still have that post that you saw?
Mm-hmm.
Because you saw Deija saw a post that was really good, like as it pertains to just the wife and the whole situation.
Okay. So it says, despite the foolishness on the internet this week, real men of God exist, and they don't allow their wives to suffer public or private humiliation at their hands.
And see, man, because even when you look at that, and no, we're not gonna victim blame, because she is a victim in this situation, and I don't feel like she should have to like relive, I guess, that trauma. And so we will never get on here and criticize a woman who is a victim in that situation. That's not it. But bringing her out to the forefront as just an innocent bystander, who, by the way, it has been noted that a lot of people didn't even know that he was married prior to. So the fact that now you bring your wife out to the forefront, it's like she's only brought out to show solidarity. You're bringing her out as a ploy to say, okay, yeah, I did this to her, but she's still on the team. Like, it's almost we good. It's like a plan to kind of do damage control. You know what I'm saying? To show a united front.
Keep my brand.
But her being out there, it just seemed like. And then he even made a joke about it. Like, I don't know if y'all saw that. He made a joke in the comments talking about blink twice if you're okay.
Said that. He actually said that in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what would you?
It looked very forced. And to me, I think, because that's what got me, the whole wife, that their video, because I don't watch him. So I did watch the video of him and the wife, and what got me was just like hearing her talk about it, because this isn't something that's new. Like you said, it just happened last week, but prior to them getting married, this was something that was already going on, because she made the comment. She said, I told him before we got married, if it happens again, I'm gone. So, and I think that's a sign for single women. If those things are happening prior to you actually getting married, that's just not, I personally believe if I'm living for God, and he knows that I want to, I'm honoring him, and I'm going to honor who I'm with. I want the person to honor me. I don't think he's going to put it in his will for me to marry someone who doesn't respect or honor me enough, or even themselves enough to be faithful to me. So I think even going into those situations, one thing we've talked about is over spiritualizing things. Some things are that simple. If somebody is doing all of that prior to you actually getting married, what makes you honestly think that it's going to change if it's quite obvious that
they have no intention? In the videos, he stated, this has nothing to do with trauma or how I grew up or past stuff. I just cheated. No, your narcissism is rooted in that.
Well, and here's the thing. Anything that we do has a reason.
Has a reason
behind it.
So even if you feel like it's not connected to any trauma, what is it that's in you that makes you do this?
But he knows
makes you do that over and over.
That's why he said it.
Right, consistently. It's not a one-time thing. This was something you kept doing. You kept doing it.
And this is where we start to get into the over spiritualizing on both sides, because the wife feels like, we saw the video, you may see a bonnet, I see the helmet of salvation. No, girl. God did not say stay up in this marriage and get cheated on and manipulated and gaslighted. He didn't say that. Derrick, Jesus is not in you whatever you're doing. Okay, we're not about to do that. No. And that's a pet peeve of mine.
And my thing is, this woman may not have always been that way.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, watching her videos, like I said to you, it's strange. It seems like there's something mentally going on.
It seems like she came to Christ and was led as a new baby Christian,
and was already maybe
in a mess.
Well, if you've gone to her page or you've seen any previous posts, I mean, certain things that she says on there, I mean, does kind of come off as disturbing. But I think one of the key things is it almost shows that there was some type of like self-esteem issue or whatever. And I'm not putting these words on her. Like, this is literally things that she has said. So with that, let's say this. We've talked about this before. You may go into a relationship one way and come out another, right? But say if you go into a relationship and you already have those self-esteem issues, right? Sometimes women get a man who looks a certain way to them, who has a certain amount of esteem or respect, and then the reaction to that for that woman, because of her own self-esteem issues, could be, well, I don't deserve a man like him.
So I'm gonna
or how do I get
mess,
a man like him? And because of that, it could be notoriety or anything else, but because of that,
you stay.
It makes you long-suffering to the point of, like,
your own health is at stake.
You're not even the same person anymore.
No, that's not. There's no way that. That's what I mean by over spiritualizing, because realistically there's no way that could possibly be from God. There's no way. That doesn't even make sense.
And that's a separate topic in itself. Like, we have to stop making, and I've said this in a previous video, but we have to stop making, like, Christianity weird.
Yes.
Like, honestly, certain things, when we over spiritualize, we can't over spiritualize things that are practical.
It just makes sense.
As much as I believe in spiritual warfare. Absolutely, I believe in that. But I also think there are some practical things that have happened. And even if you are warring for your relationship, honey, do that if you feel the conviction to do that, okay? But I think that a practical thing to do is to not come online.
Period. Because this is foolishness. Again.
And it got her looking crazy.
Crazy.
And she's still a victim.
She's definitely still a victim. But, Derrick, we don't care. Okay? Y'all could have took that offline, off camera. If them young ladies came out and called you out and that's how it came about, okay, cool. Still don't need to address it, because at the end of the day, it should be about your marriage.
It should be about your marriage.
Well, he should have been addressing it alone.
That's what I was about to say. That's one thing you said. Address it by yourself, because you was by yourself.
You were by yourself when you cheated. Be by yourself when you address the world. Now, if I still choose to be with you, then let me be with you in the back. And support you in the back. And maybe eventually we can do something.
Don't bring me
of how we over in the interview.
Yeah. And holding my hand.
Get off me.
To show that we are a united front. Like, that's just jacked up.
It's weird, bro.
If you did it by yourself, then come and tell the world by yourself. I'm sorry.
It's just baffling to me that he thought so much of himself to think that we even cared.
But some people do, though.
I think there were probably people out there who genuinely were,
followed him.
Yeah.
You have to understand, if you are
influencers are like celebrities.
Well, and you built a following and a brand on that. So you have this man in Derrick Jaxn who is showing women that, man, there are good men out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you see any of his videos, it's not like things that he says wasn't in the past.
Right, no,
wasn't true.
Absolutely.
Or it wasn't valid. Like, you like, dang, he's spitting facts right here, right? Yeah. Now, I'm not subscribed to his page or anything like that. But if you've seen him in rotation.
Yeah.
And so if you ever clicked on his videos and you know, like, oh, you know what, you're right about that. You're right about that. So you built a following and people trust your opinion now. They wait for you to review certain things. To add your voice to the topic, only to find out that the expectation that you have for others, you don't even have for yourself.
Don't even have for yourself. Putting that poor woman through all that stress. And missed.
And stop bringing Jesus in it.
Stop.
Okay. Not you mad at God that you got caught. What?
He said he was mad at God, and that's why
He had a beef.
He
with
went
it.
out
had
and
a
did
beef
what
with
he
it, and
did.
he went out and was just like, I don't care anymore.
You're not gonna do that.
What?
God's not in that at all.
You was cheating before that.
You was cheating before that because you've been doing it for years.
Stop playing with me. Don't bring.
And I don't know how old they are, but they said they married. I think they started dating at 19. I feel like they said in that video. I don't
They
know how
look
old
like they
are.
may be like our age.
They could have been a
Because they
decade
only
of
been
cheating.
married for 4 years, and
You know what
she
I'm
even said, and that just goes back to if he was cheating before they even got married, and if you went to her page, how she was talking about how she did certain things, to look like a certain way, it could possibly have been like the women that he was cheating with prior to them getting married. So it started a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not something you want to get into. I feel like God, like this is an example of why, if it's there before the ring, don't even fool with it.
It's
Don't
just
do it.
not. That's not.
It's
That's not what he
healthy.
has for any of us.
Mm-mm.
That's not the design for his intent on marriage and being with somebody.
Because it's sacred.
Exactly.
How is it sacred if you're sharing it with
everyone?
But if there are relationships that have experienced that, I think the key thing too is to really like heal.
Yeah.
Because I feel like no matter what you're now, I guess to a certain extent, people who do have a platform, you do have to address your platform. But even if you address your platform, address it in a way like I'm stepping away for X amount of time because you know, I want to cater to my household. I want to build my home back up. Like I can't continue to influence or build this brand, and y'all know I'm lying to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
It don't
And
make
that's
no
what's
sense.
crazy because I know there are people out there who will steal. You're looking for his videos.
Yeah. You know, and then it also, you differentiate people who really are remorseful about it. Because I've even seen like videos from men of God who have cheated on their wives in the past, stepped away, came back, and actually told about it. And these are men in the church leading flocks. Derrick, sir, you promoting your book and bringing your wife in to try to save whatever's left of your brand just really shows that you had no type of remorse about anything that you did.
50% off if you order now.
What? Derrick, this.
It's just sad. It was really, and when I watched the video of them together, it was just like, it was just
cringy.
it was cringy and it was just sad because I'm like, really, there's some things like you said, if you have a platform, you may need to address that platform, but like, don't do that.
And
Everybody
it
don't
also
need to.
stems from the video that you showed us of whatever church that they go to. I'm not going to say the name of the church. If you want to go research and Google, you do that on your own time. But the leadership that you're following behind has a lot to do with some of the things that you're accustomed to. And I will say, looking at that video in this particular church that he goes to, it's not far-fetched to why he acts how he acts. It was giving cult. It was giving very much under false leadership.
You know what? And I also believe that certain things, even when people go to counseling, I personally, I guess now I've come to the belief that you should seek someone who is professioned in that area and who is unbiased in you know, the relationship or you know, whatever. I say profession because a lot of believers tend to go to what did she say in that video? She said he's like sought wise counsel, or like, you know, others saved men or whatever. Okay, that's fine, but not as not to be someone who provides counsel. You provide accountability.
That's what I was
Exactly.
But counsel, no. You may need some actual help.
Counseling.
Yeah.
He
For
needs
someone
help.
who is like professional. And I'm not even speaking about him specific, but not even him specifically. There are people who are turning to like the church for certain assistance.
Well,
When that's good to a certain degree,
You need a
but
psychiatrist.
you need a therapist.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me clear the air here by, if you have any type of mental illness, whether it's bipolar, narcissistic personality disorder, any type of mental illness, it is okay to get help.
But even outside of that, even if you don't have anything that's like diagnosed,
we
benefit from that.
Yeah.
Just in general.
In general. Who doesn't know you too?
Yeah.
There needs that unbiased
opinion,
listening.
Yeah, and when it comes to Christianity, and like I feel, and other religions may be like this too, I don't know, but just as Christianity, it's like, yeah, you turn to the church and all these things, which is important, but again, that's not like the full stop of it all. Sometimes you actually need to figure out and filter through certain things, go to the root of certain things, and you can't just be turned around with well, go pray.
Yeah.
Go fast.
That's if I tell you I'm hungry and you say, Lord, fill a stomach.
Right.
But you got a bag of food. Baby, give me that food.
Give me that food. Exactly.
And then pray that God keep providing food for me or something.
That's why He put them on this earth.
That's what. Exactly. People have these professions for reasons. That comes with doctors and people not wanting to take medicine. All of these things. People are there for a reason. Baby, get help if you need help. That's okay.
Get help if you don't think, even if you don't think you need it.
Even if you don't think you
Exactly.
need it. Sometimes you just need somebody
to talk to. Facts.
Talk it out.
So I think it's a learning experience or just a lesson for I guess all women.
Of us, yeah.
To like you said before, Deja, not avoiding certain signs.
Yeah.
To really, if you notice that there's something that maybe you have dealt with, self-esteem wise, be real cautious, because that's a delicate area.
Yep.
And that can easily be manipulated
real quick, especially to someone who is only concerned about themselves.
It can be preyed upon because it automatically kind of makes you a little weak. In a sense. And I'm not saying weak as far as like mentality or anything else. I'm saying more susceptible to certain things. Because of just how you view yourself.
Exactly. And two, maybe where your heart is, you want to, please your man, or you may be extra loving, extra forgiving. Like, some people unfortunately do prey on that.
And being loved feels good to us all.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you need to love yourself.
You gotta love yourself. Yeah.
And I think that's important. Before going into it, you have to love yourself. And you have to make sure your self-esteem is where it needs to be. Because you can get trampled
real quick.
And if you have that platform, I just think it's important to value that. Maybe you just not make sure you're not being a hypocrite.
Because listen, do you know how many relationships that man could have destroyed? Women watching this like, you need to act more like this. No, baby girl.
Closed doors, he's doing the most.
He's doing the most. Man, that's just too much. God help.
Well, if you got comments on this, comment down below. I was about to say text and subscribe.
Is he canceled?
Look,
y'all think people really gonna cancel him?
I don't know. We let the people decide. I never followed him in the first place.
I didn't either.
But again, if there was anything, I feel like you just lost a lot of credibility.
Absolutely.
So again, there may be people. I feel like there's only certain things that you can speak of or speak on at this point.
I wish him well. Take care.
I think he should do what Charlamagne said do. Just go sit down.
Yeah, sit down and get some help.
Shut yourself off for a while.
But we will see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Next on Dragon Ball Z. Alright, so don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, drop down in the comments, and if you got anything about the situation that you want to add, definitely drop it down below, and we will see y'all in our next video. Bye.
Bye, y'all.